Every year, the world buys more than 100 billion pieces of clothing. Some of them cost less than a cup of coffee. A t-shirt can cost $5. A dress can cost 10. Sometimes, an entire outfit costs less than a pizza. And that's strange. Because before that t-shirt ever reaches a store shelf, it has already traveled through one of the largest supply chains on Earth. Cotton has been grown, fabric has been woven, the material has been dyed. The shirt has been cut, stitched, packaged, shipped across oceans, stored in warehouses, advertised online, and delivered to customers. Dozens of people may have handled it. Multiple companies may have profited from it. Yet, somehow, the final price is only $5. So how is that possible? Are workers being paid almost nothing? Are companies making huge profits? Or is there a hidden system operating behind the scenes? Because once you follow the journey of a single t-shirt, you'll discover a business model built on speed, scale, and efficiency, unlike almost anything else in modern retail. And the answer is far more surprising than most people realize. Let's take a closer look. Imagine walking into a clothing store. You pick up a t-shirt. The price tag says $5. Most people barely think about it. Cheap clothing has become normal. But if you stop and break it down, the numbers seem almost impossible. Someone had to design the shirt. Someone had to manufacture it. Someone had to transport it. Someone had to store it. Someone had to sell it. And everyone expects to get paid. So where exactly is the money going? Many people assume the answer is simple. Cheap labor, case closed. But that explanation only tells part of the story, because even if labor were completely free, there would still be costs. Cotton, fabric, dyes, packaging, warehousing, shipping, marketing, store operations. The real answer is much bigger than wages alone. To understand it, we need to start where every t-shirt begins. The story often begins thousands of miles away from the customer. Cotton is grown, harvested, processed, spun into yarn, woven into fabric, dyed, cut into patterns, then finally stitched together. By the time a t-shirt reaches a store, it may have traveled through multiple countries. The cotton might come from one nation, the fabric from another, the manufacturing from another. The final customer could be on the opposite side of the world. It's an enormous logistical operation, yet every step has been optimized. Factories specialize in specific tasks. Suppliers cluster together. Materials move through production lines with incredible efficiency. What once took months can now happen in weeks. And that's where our first surprise appears. The labor cost of a t-shirt is often far lower than most people imagine. When people think about fast fashion, labor is usually the first thing that comes to mind. And for good reason. Many garments are produced in countries where wages are significantly lower than in North America or Western Europe. Workers may spend long hours performing highly specialized tasks. One worker might attach sleeves. Another might sew collars. Another might inspect finished garments. The process is repetitive, but incredibly efficient. And here's the surprising part. The labor cost of a $5 t-shirt can sometimes be less than the price of the tag attached to it. In some cases, it represents only a tiny fraction of the final retail price. That doesn't mean labor isn't important. It is. But it means labor alone cannot explain why clothes are so cheap. Something else is happening. Something much bigger. Scale. Imagine you're a small clothing company. You need 10,000 buttons. A supplier gives you a price. Now imagine you're one of the largest fashion retailers in the world. Instead of ordering 10,000 buttons, you're ordering 10 million. Everything changes. Suppliers compete for your business. Costs fall. Factories prioritize your orders. Shipping becomes cheaper. Raw materials become cheaper. Packaging becomes cheaper. Even tiny savings become enormous. Saving just a few cents on a garment doesn't sound impressive until you're producing hundreds of millions of garments. Then, those pennies become millions of dollars. Some fast fashion companies sell more clothing in a few days than small brands sell in an entire year. This is the hidden advantage of scale, and it's one of the biggest reasons fast fashion can sell clothes so cheaply. Now let's do something most shoppers never do. Let's follow the money. Imagine a $5 t-shirt. how much of that $5 actually pays for the cotton? How much goes to the factory? How much goes towards shipping? How much goes to the retailer? And how much is left as profit? The exact numbers vary from company to company, but in many cases, the cost is spread across dozens of different expenses: raw materials, manufacturing, packaging, transportation, warehousing, marketing, store operations, technology, returns. By the time everyone takes their share, there is often far less profit left than most people imagine. Which leads to another surprising discovery. Fast fashion companies aren't always making huge amounts of money on each item. They're making small amounts of money on enormous numbers of items. A modern garment factory isn't dozens of people casually sewing clothes. It's a machine, not a machine made of metal. A machine made of people. Every worker has a specific role. Every movement is measured. Every second matters. A shirt moves down a production line. One worker completes one task. The next worker completes another, then another, then another. Thousands of garments can be produced every day. The system is designed for one purpose: efficiency, and efficiency reduces cost. But fast fashion companies discovered something even more valuable than efficiency: speed. Walk into a fast fashion store today, come back next week. You'll probably find something different: new styles, new colors, new designs. This isn't happening by accident. Modern fashion companies track trends obsessively: social media, search data, sales data, influencer activity, consumer behavior. Everything is measured. If a style suddenly becomes popular, companies can respond incredibly quickly. Design, manufacture, ship, sell. Sometimes in a matter of weeks. The goal isn't just to sell clothes, it's to sell novelty. Because people love new things, and that's where psychology enters the story. Imagine seeing a jacket for $100. You think carefully. You compare options. You take your time. Now imagine seeing a shirt for $5. The decision feels different. The risk feels smaller. You may buy it without much thought at all. Fast fashion companies understand this. Lower prices encourage impulse purchases, and constant new arrivals create urgency. Customers begin thinking, if I don't buy it now, it might be gone next week. Psychologists call this scarcity, and scarcity can dramatically increase demand. Suddenly, the business isn't just selling clothes, it's selling excitement, novelty, and the fear of missing out. There's another reason the system works. Fast fashion isn't optimized to create clothes that remain fashionable for 20 years. It's optimized to create clothes that are fashionable right now, because trends move quickly. And by the time one trend disappears, companies want to be selling the next one. The faster styles change, the more often customers return. And the more often customers return, the more products get sold. At this point, you might assume fast fashion companies make enormous profits on every item they sell. But the reality is more complicated. Factories need paying, employees need paying, warehouses need paying, shipping needs paying, stores need paying, technology needs paying, returns need paying, marketing needs paying. The secret isn't always huge profit margins. The secret is volume, selling millions of items again and again and again. A small profit multiplied by millions of sales becomes an enormous business. And that's the real lesson. Fast fashion isn't built around making huge amounts from one customer. It's built around making small amounts from millions of customers. So why is fast fashion so cheap? It's not because of one thing. It's not just cheap labor. It's not just giant factories. It's not just technology. It's not just global shipping. It's all of them working together. Massive scale, efficient supply chains, specialized factories, rapid trend detection, consumer psychology, and millions of workers spread across a global network. The next time you see a $5 t-shirt, remember this. You're not looking at a simple piece of clothing. You're looking at the end result of one of the most efficient retail systems ever created. A system optimized to move trends from idea to store shelf faster and cheaper than ever before. And that's the hidden story behind fast fashion. And now it makes sense.